They can no longer hide it. But they sure are trying. And the way that they're trying is to make us look insane. It's pretty sad because of the fact that they're not immune to this. They too could be infected at any point in time, but yet they choose to do what their powers that be tell them to do. ABC and 5 other, probably more, media articles just came out within the last hour or two stating that there is a huge measles outbreak in the Dominican Republic of the Congo. Why is that significant? Well, I think anybody that's been watching my videos knows. Because over the last few days, me and a few other content creators have made the allegation that they are going to say that people that are infected with that are actually just cases of measles or mumps or dengue. I don't think mumps was really working, so they kind of cut that one out. So let's go over these and show you what they're actually doing. I want to say that the internet is an amazing tool, but the thing about the internet is the amount of information that's put out, and those authority figures, people do believe them still, no matter what they say. But there's one thing that they can't change on the internet. I mean, what they can't change that's not on the internet. And that's these things. These are books. These are some of my books from nursing school. Because I already see what they're doing. They are changing information on how long the incubation periods are, what kind of effects come from certain diseases and illnesses. And they can do that easily because they know that most people are going to get their information from them. Even though their views and everything are still down, the majority of people still believe everything that they see on there. Luckily, we still have these. And yes, if you know how, you can go to archive sites and still get the information online. And even websites that they delete, you can still get the information online. But I see what they're doing. The period of quarantine, or see, they didn't even call it quarantine when people had the measles, and now they're having to shut down entire hospitals because of it, and all of these other things. None of it's adding up. So that's why I broke out my books, to make sure that I wasn't completely crazy. See, the average time that someone is, the incubation period of measles, average is 10 days. But now they are aligning the measles incubation period and dengue incubation periods with Ebola, using the 2 to 21 days, and even changing some of the signs and symptoms to make it look as though it's indistinguishable whether it's dengue, Ebola, or the measles. But the thing is, there are very distinguishable differences. Now, yes, the beginning stages, it is pretty indistinguishable. But there are some pretty obvious things that go along with measles that does not happen in Ebola. And I'm sure most of you know it. It's the rash. Like, your entire body is full of red, pink dots all over. So it's pretty easy to diagnose. And with dengue, the thing is, it's mainly just an extremely high fever. Only 3% of people in prior years have died of dengue. It's terrible. It's horrible to get. But almost every single person survives it in previous years. With dengue, you have of course, fever, like I said, and most people don't die. How come we're having so many deaths attributed to dengue right now? Hundreds, even thousands. It might be thousands. I should have probably added it up. Okay, now on to how stupid they think people are. This is how absolutely stupid they think you are. They want you to believe that there are possibly, see, they cover their butts by putting things like possibly, 87,000 suspected measles cases in the Congo. Now, for anybody that's been watching our videos, anybody that's been talking about Ebola and other things, we've showed on multiple occasions the global incident map. That's the map that shows what's going on all across the country. And they now want you to believe that 87,000 people had measles, and they just didn't know it until today. That's what they want you to believe. Why do they want you to believe that? Well, I may have done something a little dumb. I don't know if it was dumb. I think it was pretty ingenious. We have these director of health in San Antonio begging for French-speaking interpreters because of the hundreds of Congolese migrants they dropped off in San Antonio. I know what you're probably thinking. What? And I'm thinking the same thing, as are a lot of people. It's one thing to help asylum seekers. I'm not going to make this about immigration. But as much as I've talked about why haven't we had a travel ban yet, but then to go so far as to actually allow more Congolese immigrants right across the border and then drop them off in a city without even being quarantined is so irresponsible that I have no words for it. But this right here, you ready for this? Let's check this out. This is what they put out for their volunteers. Anybody that speaks French or whatever, they can volunteer. the very bottom here, it states, anybody with a suppressed immune system should not apply. Why would that be? If you feel that these people are healthy enough to drop in a United States major city, why would it matter if somebody is immune compromised? First of all, most people that are immune compromised don't go out in public really anyway, because they know that that would be ignorant. But to specifically put it in here, I'll let you do the math on that. I am just dumbfounded. I mean, I see what they're doing. They have started to see our videos. They have seen the fact that we are saying that they are going to try to cover up the Ebola with measles or dengue or typhus. They've seen them. And so now they're doing damage control. And this just makes me the Fiji Sun, that's their newspaper, put out an article saying that we're all crazy and we're gonna be the ones that look stupid in the end. Why are they doing that? To protect their tourism industry, mainly. They want us to believe that they isolated their entire hospital, quarantined at least 5 people. Reports on the ground are saying 15 and 50, but let's just say 5 because that's what they put out. But now they want us to feel bad that we are asking questions. Because let me explain something else. To test for the majority of illnesses is very quick. It doesn't take weeks. But they want you to believe that. They want you to forget about this. That's why they're saying they're now saying it's gonna take weeks to figure out what happened to the couple in Fiji. I would not be surprised if the family of the couple have been told to stop talking to the news. Because like I said in my other video, I did speak with one of the family members, but I'm not hearing from that person anymore. I mean, they haven't blocked me, but that's something that they would do. And it's sad. It really is sad, because I know that they want answers. Okay, now to the good stuff. I want to read the entire, well, maybe not the entire article, but the article from the Fiji Sun, just to show y'all how much that they are essentially trying to make us look bad. And this very well could get our channels taken down. So make sure to follow any of us that have been talking about this on our other platforms. I will put it in the pinned comments. I know sometimes I forget, but I really will put it in there. Okay, so let's go on. Fake news and the rumor mongering. Rumor mongering? I guess that's new. See, they don't even know. It's called fear mongering. Goes viral again. Too many people getting hyped up about the mysterious illness surrounding the USA couple, but making themselves look like fools in the end. Well, really? I didn't know that we were at an end point. First of all, I just want to say this is horrific. Because this couple deserves, their 4 children deserve the truth. And that's all we are wanting for them. Social media was strewn with everything from Ebola to gas poisoning to assassinations following the death of the U.S. couple last week. See, what they're using right here is they're conflating the issue from the Dominican Republic, which that couple did die of poisoning, as well as the third lady. They all died of, it was an insecticide poisoning. Assassination, I would say that's from the community that I'm not even going to name, because I know who put out such a ridiculous thing. And so that's what I'm talking about. Actually, let me talk about that. So for these people that feel that this is okay to put out information like this, you are the problem. Because you get us lumped in together with craziness. There have been people that said that assassinated because he works at Lockheed Martin. And I tried to tell them to stop, because it is ridiculous. But yet they continue. But they are the ones that are making us look illegitimate, and that's what upsets me. Okay, so anyway, yet again, we've had those who thrive in such situations flood the spaces of what they thought happened. It made Dinarue, one of Fiji's tourism hotspots, seem as a health hazard area. And this was done simply to destabilize the tourism industry. So now they are conspiracy theorists. They are acting like we are trying to destabilize their tourism industry. That is simply ridiculous. We just don't want anybody else to get sick. And the sane people, like myself, are putting out the legitimate information. Stuff that comes from them. And stuff that we're getting from people on the ground. But unfortunately, we're all going to be lumped in together like this article is doing, because they're freaking out about their tourism. There has been a mystery illness of a couple that died. That is something to be concerned about. But they only care about their tourism industry. They don't care about this couple. These people who were active during the general elections and then lay dormant were waiting for such an opportunity to come their way, and this incident was right up their alley. What? The time had come for them to awake from their dormant stage, pounce on this health issue, and then begin their rumor-mongering works. Believe it or not, we have people right around the world who are actually take this up as some sort of hobby. What? I honestly didn't read the entire thing yet. So they go on to say, let's take it from the beginning. When the couple Michelle and David first jetted into the country, if they had contracted this mystery illness overseas, it would have affected those on board the flight as well. Wait, that doesn't make sense. That makes no sense at all. If they contracted it there, then the people on the flight wouldn't have it. Oh my gosh. But here's the thing. My opinion, I believe it was in LA. But when you first contract it, you aren't contagious. The first 2-3 days, you're not contagious, usually. So this fits perfectly. But let's continue. More local people would have either been seriously ill or dead by now. And it would have a rippling effect on families. Or perhaps they had contracted whatever sickness, but this had not been really manifested itself until they got here. Okay, let me explain that. They are a couple on vacation. They were together the entire time. They probably did not come into contact with anybody's bodily fluids except their own. But they did come into contact with healthcare workers, which were quarantined. The hospital was quarantined. So this article is nonsensical. Of course, the health authorities did well to isolate those who came into contact with the U.S. couple. Exactly. Rumors, gossip, and fake news, terms which we are familiar with. To us, while many others consider it harmless, it can actually affect one's health, as trying to separate fact from fiction could bring you down, both mentally and physically. These people do not care if these rumors ruin someone's reputation, or in this case, Fiji's tourism industry. They don't care about the family. See, they should have written this article and said that, okay, so it's very obvious that the people that write for the Fiji Sun have not been trained by the American psychological operations networks, because here they would have written it as if it was a concern for the family. They would have said, it's terrible that you would do this and put this family through this thing. It's terrible. You know, they are already worried, and then now you're putting out this information. But that's not what they're doing. They only care about their tourism industry. That's sad. For if this was blown out of proportion, the industry would have taken some time to get back on its feet. These fake news merchants share posts from someone on social media telling people not to go near the Lukatoka hospital because there was a deadly virus. Well, that person is sure looking like a fool now. What? Who wrote this? But it goes to show how hyped up people get about spreading fake news and making themselves look like heroes who save mankind. On the other hand, congratulations must go out to the medical... Okay. I don't care about looking like a hero. I do care about saving people. And if I can, I will. I haven't said not to go to Fiji. But I think anybody should have all the information about any situation. And when they are still saying it's a mystery illness and having to put an entire hospital in isolation, as well as quarantine all the people that came in contact with them, there obviously is a reason to be concerned. And it's horrific that these people have made it about their tourism industry. I understand that small countries like this thrive on their tourism industry. But let me tell you, anybody from Fiji that's watching this, it's going to look a whole lot worse if a whole lot of other people come up dead, rather than cleaning this up now and telling the truth. So, I just want to say this is very obvious that they are trying, not just them, but the mainstream media, by putting out this new mysterious measles days after we said that they are going to say that the people, if they die of Ebola, they're going to call it the measles. And it's really, it's horrific. It's irresponsible. Oh, I want to take y'all back, just in your mind. I want you to think about the 2014 outbreak. Y'all remember the mainstream media doing the fear-mongering? Every day, all day, they were talking about it. And that's what made people feel like, well, this doesn't seem true, because they're making this big deal out of something and nobody's really dying. It frightens me more that they are trying to cover this up. Because like I've said in many of my videos, if the mainstream media is talking about any topic, wall-to-wall coverage on all platforms, doesn't matter if they're left-leaning or right-leaning, but they're all talking about the same topic and on the same page with the same topic, you either need to look away or there's something more going on. I'm going to leave it at that. I know this was kind of long, but yes, there are people that take advantage and say crazy things like assassination and whatnot. And those people are the ones that make independent journalism and researchers like myself put into a basket of tinfoil hatters. So y'all please share, like, if you would like to support my channel. I will put the links below, and definitely follow me, because it looks like they are definitely out to chop some of us. Anyway, y'all have a wonderful day, guys.